Hey everybody, it's Mildly Otaku, and I just finished watching Love Live Sunshine. Wow, you just finished it? Welcome to December 2017, bro. I didn't want it to end, alright? Like Muse written on the sunny rooftop and Aqua scratched in the sand. It's gonna evaporate, it's gonna get washed away, you know? All good times need to come to an end. But an anime never ends if you don't watch the last few episodes. I absolutely love Love Live. You know, the idea of watching a bunch of characters chasing their dreams, you know, trying to give it their all, and just inspiring people and making people happy, I love that. You know, before Love Live, I didn't even know what the hell a school idol was, you know? But now, after watching the animes, like, I just can't get enough of them. It's incredibly simple and never fails to cheer me up when my day's been garbage, which, in that case, it's most days. So, it's School Idol Project versus Sunshine, Muse versus Aqua. Prepare to get your Jimmy's Russell. So when Sunshine was first announced, I was very doubtful, but I was also excited at the same time. You know, usually when I hear of a sequel or a spin-off, I'm just like extremely cynical about it because they usually don't live up to the original. But I was also excited, you know, more school idols. There's gonna be more characters to get emotionally attached to. More feels. But you know, they're not Muse. What right do these new girls have to stand on the same stage as them? What's this little rat? Nico Maki Love Child? Instead of doing a simple review of Sunshine, we're gonna peer into both of these wonderful animes. So before we get started, let me know what your favorite series, best girl, waifu, or favorite song is in the comments down below. School Idol Project starts off with a bunch of girls learning that their school is about to close down due to low application rates and deciding to create a school idol group to attract more students. Chika's inspired by Muse and decides to create an idol group and ultimately tries to save their school by bringing in attention through their shows. They all want to compete in Love Live, like the ultimate national school idol tournament, a student council that tries to obstruct them every step of the way, a rival group that appears freaking perfect, and they also have 9 members, 3 from each class. I mean, this can create some misconceptions about the writers being lazy, but thankfully, that's where the similarities end. At least Honoka was able to save the school! While season 1 of Sunshine felt incredibly familiar in the beginning, it wasn't until episode 8 where all my doubts and assumptions about the series was shattered. In a good way. But episode 8 was just brutal. I mean, they even made Ruby cry. You want some advice on living longer, son? Don't make Ruby cry. So far, they've been following in Muse's footsteps and trying to emulate them. But the phenomenon of Muse was a really rare case, and that was actually one of my initial complaints about the series was that Honoka and the others basically sailed to popularity pretty easily, even in the first season, right? It was just like, boom, success, boom, right after another, you know? But when Chika and the others try to recreate that, it blows up in their face, you know? There's hardships, there's struggles, and for the group to overcome. It's much more competitive now. There's like tons of members, and you need a much more compelling reason other than trying to follow in someone else's footsteps. It isn't until that wake-up call they realize that in order to shine and be truly something special, to be a phenomenon like Muse, you need to be true to yourself, to forge your own path and find the path that makes you truly shine. The hardships make the journey to the top much more interesting and is an effective way of making you care for the characters and also force them to grow and develop. So when we're comparing the stories of the first seasons, I would give this point to Sunshine. You know, it's a much more interesting story since it throws us for twists and engages us in more memorable drama. I honestly don't remember much from School Idol Project, and I've watched the first season many times, you know? And before you guys start angrily typing in the comments, I have to give a massive point to School Idol Project for Start Dash. I mean, the way they showed their growth from performing in like an empty auditorium to just filling it completely, you know, in the very end and saving their school, I mean, that is one of the most satisfying things I've ever watched. You know, it's just like, yes, you know, they made it. It fills you with so much joy, but overall, Sunshine kept up the drama for more episodes that created memorable moments for me. Now, season 2 of any Love Live is supposed to be the best season, you know, the most memorable season. It's where the third years are graduating, when the future and the fate of the group is up in the air. Are they going to continue? Or will they disband and pursue their own separate paths? It's supposed to be the most memorable and emotional season of the anime because they've grown with you for more than a year. Maybe you made a friend or two, or maybe some waifus, right? So which one packs more punch, packs more heat in the emotional department? First of all, how do you judge that? How do you tell which season was more effective? Like how hard you cried? I guess you can, but there's a reason why a scene will make you feel more emotional than the other. It all comes down to the overall writing, how they build up to that moment. School Idol Project's story was incredibly simple in the second season. They've already succeeded in saving their school in the previous season, so after Honoka lets go of her apprehension and decides to make this year count, create the best memories ever, and live life without regrets, Ima ga saiko. This season is all about them fighting to perform in the next Love Live event, because in the previous one they were forced to withdraw due to Honoka pushing herself dangerously too far. So this time they're gonna do it. They're gonna just do their best and dedicate this entire season to rising up in the rankings again. Compare that to Sunshine Season 2, where the fate of the school is still undecided, and there's another upcoming Love Live event they gotta practice for. There's much more the girls have to take on this season, and as a result, the emotional buildup isn't as satisfying because it's a bit spread out. Whoa, those are fighting words, man. You gotta explain yourself. I'm not saying that Sunshine didn't have any impactful drama this season. In fact, it does have more memorable scenes from them, failing to save the school, and then realizing that, it's not all lost. They can still save the school symbolically by immortalizing it in Love Live history by winning. I think that's beautiful. It's kind of poetic, which is nice. I'm a sucker for those kinds of ideas. And also, Ruby and Leah bonding over a common fear of not being able to perform anymore with their sisters who are graduating. It's another great moment as well, where the younger and timid characters mature. It's really satisfying. There's a lot of amazing moments in Sunshine Season 2, but the ending is where I feel that it's a bit lacking. Not like I didn't get emotional, it just didn't have the same punch that School Idol Project did. Like for instance, the rooftop, right? Both of them in the very last episode had rooftop scenes, but the reason why Muse's rooftop scene was much more impactful is all thanks to the writers, connecting Muse's struggles, their musical journey to the rooftop throughout both seasons. Nostalgia detective. Look, it's not a bad season. I have no problem with the key plot points. Failing to save the school from closing down, immortalize the school in Love Live. Brilliant. I like that. But there just wasn't enough build up to make the victory feel satisfying. So, School Idol Project's second season was all about them practicing for that big moment. And after more than 10 episodes of seeing them work towards that goal, surpass the idol giants Arise, and also win the adoration of the public, the payoff is massive. And don't forget Aishiteru Banzai, man, the pinnacle, the epitome of weapons grades feels. Maybe Sunshine could have had more episodes, or established that the school was doomed earlier on in the season, so we can focus on their inspiration for song. So when they win, we can see the fruits of their labor. But instead, the focus is diverted between two different places for a good chunk of the season. Hey, but it's good they're not following the same formula for School Idol Project. True. But we want their victory of Love Live to be just as emotionally fulfilling, if not more, right? But for me, it just didn't really measure up. As a standalone show, it's not bad, but his older sister still has the advantage over it. Am I sending mixed messages here? There's pros and cons for both. I just think Sunshine had the better first season, and School Idol Project had the better second season. While Sunshine had a steady stream of feels, School Idol Project had lethal and laser-guided precision strikes of feels. Awesome sauce! Awesome sauce? More like, can you not? With an anime that stars 9 girls each, everyone's arguing over who's the best girl. And it's obvious that it's the #1 idol in the universe, Nico Yazawa. Okay, I know she's pretty divisive. Love her, hate her, think she's cancer. That's all besides the point. We're here to talk about the characters in general. But since we're on the subject of Nico, she is one of the most well-developed characters in Love Live. And the reason why she's, bratty and has a princess complex, well, we find out why in season 2. She's her younger sibling's hero because her mom's just like constantly busy on business trips. And, from the School Idol Diary novel, we find out that her dad is most likely gone, and he's the one who gave her the Nico Nico Ni catchphrase. So her role in the family is much bigger than any of these characters. She needs to put on like a really strong and tough and even, I guess, unbelievably amazing front. And it's all done to inspire her siblings. So there's rhyme and reason behind her character. Compare that to Yohane, who's another controversial girl in Sunshine, but unfortunately we don't really understand why she has a Chunibyo complex. Maybe when they release the School Idol Diary for Aqua, we might get some backstory to that. But let's compare the main girls, right? Honoka and Chika. They're basically the same. Yeah, I mean, they do have similar personalities. They're both madmen or mad women that decide to create an idol group and convince a whole bunch of people to join. And they're both really determined to reach their goals. So in that sense, they're pretty similar. Chika's design has grown on me, and I would say it's actually cuter than Honoka's, but Honoka's actions, her personality, they're much cuter. Now, with the sheer number of characters, we're gonna be here for days if we get into like the really nitty-gritty details. So we're just gonna compare the two as a group. Alright, this might sound a bit weird, but Muse feels like a more tight-knit group than Aqua. Is that a bad thing? Is that a good thing? Well, let's take a look at the season 2 of School Idol Project. They had way more group bonding moments where they both have fun, or they all have fun, discover more about themselves and other members. They all bounce ideas off of each other, and none of the characters feel out of place or useless. There's big surprises when it comes to some of the members and how they feel about the group. So a big moment is Nozomi and how she always wanted to be able to reach out to the ones that couldn't fit into any group, those that were going through internal struggles, who couldn't express themselves properly like Nozomi herself. And it explains why she was so invested in Muse from the very beginning. And the name Nozomi chose for the group, Muse, is incredibly fitting for these characters. You can even draw like similarities between them and like the 9 Greek goddesses. All of the members have something unique to contribute to the group. I'm not saying that Aqua is bad or that they don't have any good characters. In fact, they all have quirks that make them stand out even more, individually. They really up the meme and catchphrase factor for Sunshine. Some people love it, some people hate it. I happen to be a fan of it, but as a group, they just don't have that, unit cohesion that Muse does. I just wish that they had more time to bond together, The way they got inspired for creating My Mai Tonight is a really good example of what I like to see, But they went with a different approach this season, and decided to go with more personal drama, like Yohane and Riko, Chika Yo, and especially Ruby and Leah with her sisters, which spawned one of my favorite songs from this franchise, Awaken the Power. It's freaking beautiful, man. So the ways the two groups are written are pretty different. It all comes down to personal preference, but it definitely changes the way the group dynamic feels. Now, for rivals, oh my god, I love Tsubasa's forehead. What I liked about Sunshine was the level of interaction and development they gave to Saint Snow. Arise seemed a bit distant, they interacted with Muse, but we didn't really get to know them on the same level as Saint Snow, which is kind of unfortunate. I would have loved to know
Tsubasa's forehead
a bit better. Overall, all of the members are likable and they have their unique charm points. So I like them to varying degrees, and I don't really hate any of them. Judging music is incredibly subjective, but if we compare Muse and Aqua, their lyrical contents are pretty similar. There's upbeat lyrics that pull at your heartstrings, and songs that you can insert yourself into, and so much more. Outside of the anime, they got almost 100 songs to their names each. Man, if I wanted to go through every single of their songs in the catalog, we're gonna be here for days. What is this, the needle drop? So I'm just gonna limit this to the songs that appeared in the anime. Now, for opening songs, which one is the best? Musically, I like Aozora Jumping Heart, Sunshine's first opening, the best. In the very first few notes, I already knew I would love this song. From like the first verse and that synth build up to the violin melody, everything was just beautiful. Everything about it, from the instrumentals and the lyrics is just high energy and gets you pumped for a new beginning, you know, a new cast of characters to be emotionally attached to. But what is the most emotionally significant opening? Well, School Idol Project Season 2 takes the prize here. You know, I mean, Sore Boku, I'm not even gonna try pronouncing it. It's attached to my favorite season, so obviously it's gonna evoke more emotions than any other opening. What are your favorite opening songs? Let me know down below. Aqua does have the more diverse selection of songs in the anime. For some songs, they delve into like different sounds, they mix genres like rock, pop, and even like traditional Japanese instruments and music into it. But on the other hand, Muse has a typical standard like pop idol, pop rock kind of sound. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing at all. In fact, one of the most, if not the most popular song in the entire franchise is a pop ballad. That's one of the most popular songs out there. And the reason why all of their songs, Muse and Aqua, are so powerful is because of the personalities and the stories attached to them, you know? Seeing them struggle, seeing them overcome great challenges adds another layer onto the experience. We grew with them, you know, it's like we've been there every single step of the way. So these songs aren't just like something catchy you just happen to hear on the radio. It's something more than that. It's personal. So is there a definitive better group? I would say no. You know, obviously Aqua has the improved sound over Muse. You know, everything sounds a little bit more refined, mixing is better and all that. But there's still Muse songs that are basically insurmountable, like Snow Halation, Start Dash, and Aishiteru Banzai. But either way, I love listening to all of them because they never fail to cheer me up when my day is bad or simply evoke emotions. Love Live's bread and butter is their songs and dances. You know, that's where the majority of the animation work goes into. But obviously, Sunshine has better animation. You can actually see the evolution, the improvement throughout the franchise. Now, the elephant in the room, the common complaint is the use of CGI and how much it sticks out. Initially, it's pretty obvious when they started using CGI, like it just didn't look right. You know, the characters were kind of derpy. Like I still like them, they're just adorably, you know, weird looking. But the rival groups, Arise and Saint Snow, didn't use CGI for their dances. So why didn't Muse and Aqua get the same treatment? And the reason I can think of is because the types of camera movements they're doing, you know, like the really big sweeping shots and like non-linear, it's basically going in like an arc, like, and just the sheer number of members, you know, there's 9 of them, right? It just makes it harder to hand animate. But it wasn't until the School Idol movie, you know, Muse's final animated appearance, that they got several fully hand animated dances. But in the end of the movie, they still had to use CGI because every freaking single school idol in existence was dancing with them. But the CGI was actually good. You know, it didn't stick out like a sore thumb. They actually were able to blend 2D and 3D in the same frame. But Sunshine set the bar for how good CGI can be for the entire franchise. I mean, while the School Idol movie had pretty good use of CGI, it felt kind of flat. There just wasn't any post-processing effects to it. It looked like someone just drew it by their hand, which is good, right? They both blend together really nicely. But Sunshine's animation was much more polished. You know, they used nicer looking lighting effects on not only the 2D, but the 3D scenes as well. It just makes everything look much nicer. I can't wait to see what the movie would be like. It's gonna be freaking amazing. Each of the groups and their animes have moments where they shine, but they also have problems of their own, right? But overall, Love Live as a franchise is freaking great. I mean, there's the rhythm game, a new one called Love Live School Idol Festival All-Stars, you know, containing not only Muse and Aqua, but also 9 new members. I mean, there's a ton of content and live shows they're gonna have in the future, and that's something to look forward to for any Love Live fan. So when I dug in deeper for this video, I now know why this is such a huge phenomenon, not only in Japan, but worldwide, you know? The entire premise is simple, but it has a lot of heart. Not every anime needs to be like Evangelion or Psycho Pass. It doesn't need complex stories and like crazy morals they delve into. Like Love Live is simple. It's about chasing your dreams, finding what makes you shine, and not giving up, and living life to the fullest. They make the most of a simple premise. So it's hard for me to choose what is the definitive best group, like the best anime. Because if I say this is the best group, it's gonna be like I'm discounting or trashing someone else's opinion, because at the end of the day, it's all about what it makes you feel. Love Live is an emotionally focused franchise. Some people will connect better to the twists and turns of Sunshine's drama, and others will find School Idol Project's simplicity much more charming. I like Muse as a group, but I like Sunshine's drama, so why not both? So Love Live is actually much more than just, the anime. There's like a whole big multimedia franchise outside of it, and also the fan base. The fans also make it an incredibly enjoyable experience. Even the hell groups, right? Like, sure, you gotta be able to take a few jokes, right? Someone trashing on your waifu. It's all in good fun. If you like this video, hit the like and subscribe buttons and share it with your friends to support me on my quest to own every single Nesoberi in existence.